there, Swahili Nation family. Welcome back to another recap. I am Ongil Zalalem, and today I want us to start from the Gambia. 5 Gambian spies sentenced to death for killing activists. The Gambia High Court has sentenced the former head of National Intelligence Agency, Yankuba Baje, to death after finding him guilty of murdering Ibrima Solo Sandeng, an important figure in the opposition United Democratic Party. In 2016, 4 others in the National Intelligence Agency's former operations chief, Sheikh Omar, and NIA officials Babukar Salah, Lamin Darbe, and Tamba were convicted on the same charges and sentenced by the Banjul court. ECOWAS court declares Buharis Twitter ban unlawful. Following a suit of socio-economic rights and accountability project and 176 concerned Nigerians, the ECOWAS court has declared unlawful the suspension of Twitter by the government of President Muhammad Buhari and ordered the administration never to repeat it again. After the deletion of the President Muhammad Buhari's tweet, the Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, announced the suspension of Twitter in Nigeria. The government also threatened to arrest and prosecute anyone using Twitter in the country, while the National Broadcasting Commission asked all broadcast stations to suspend Twitter. But in the judgment delivered by the ECOWAS court, they declared that it has the jurisdiction to hear the case and that the case was therefore admissible. The court also held that the act of suspending the operation of Twitter is unlawful and inconsistent with the provision of Article 9 of the African Charter on Human and People's Rights and Article 9 of the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, both of which Nigeria is a state party. According to the court, the Buhari administration in suspending the operation of Twitter violates the right of SERP and 176 concerned Nigerians to the enjoyment of freedom of expression, access to information and the media, as well as the rights of fair hearing. The court also ordered the Buhari administration to take necessary steps to align its policies and other measures to give effect to the rights and freedoms and to guarantee a non-repetition of the unlawful ban of Twitter. That was interesting to say the least. ECOWAS is actually saying that Buhari was wrong for putting a ban on Twitter. Okay. I mean, at the end of the day, we all talked about that before, and we've discussed that obviously if we give governments the right to, ban us from social media or having accounts or just banning any organization, it just comes off as being dictatorship. And in this case, Buhari was in his feelings because his tweet was deleted by Twitter. And also, I don't agree even with Twitter deleting his tweet. I also don't agree with him banning Twitter. So it's interesting that ECOWAS made this decision, and we'll see if Buhari's government is going to accept this verdict. Maasai in Tanzania moved to new homes amid eviction effort. Tanzania authorities say violent clashes on June 10 between police and ethnic Maasai people they were trying to evict from a conservation area left 1 officer dead and scores of Maasai shot and wounded. While right groups have condemned Tanzanian authorities for what they call unlawful evictions, some Maasai families say they had no choice but to move from their ancestral home to a reservation 600 kilometers away. It's sad to see this unfold in front of our eyes. The Maasai people were not bothering anybody. They were living in their own land, and we've talked about this, I believe, 3 weeks ago when they first, started kicking them out. Now they had no choice but to try and find another place to settle in. It's just really sad, like kicking our own people just so we can prepare a place for game drive, for people to come and trophy hunt. It's just so sad, and I can't believe that we are just allowing this to happen to the Maasai people of Tanzania. France wants a rethink of military strategy in Africa. French President Emmanuel Macron announced plans to reshape the country's armies on the eve of Bastille Day and its traditional military parade down the Champs-Élysées. At a reception on Wednesday with the Army's High Command, Macron said he wanted to make change to the structure, the procedures, and the chain of command by the first half of 2023. The operational overhaul is set to have an impact notably on the country's involvement in the Sahel region in the wake of France's ongoing withdrawal from Mali. Macron said, quote, "It's a strategic necessity because we need deployments that are less entrenched and less exposed to build a lasting and closer cooperation with African armies and rebuild our training capabilities." I don't understand why President Macron thinks he needs to rethink their strategy. Like, don't rethink anything. We don't want you here. It was clear. You were told, just take your troops out of the Sahel region. They're not happy with their presence. They've told you many times. So what's the point of rethinking? If you're not welcome at a place, you just leave. You don't force yourself at the people. That's their land. They have every right to say no to you. So the fact that he's still talking about this and the fact that he still wants to continue having a presence in Africa tells you all you need to know. They have an agenda. They need their troops to be here because they want to control Africa. And the sooner we wake up and we say, no more, we don't want your foreign military presence, then it's going to continue being the way it is. Outrage as Black African passengers assaulted at Tunis Airport. Tunisian authorities have assaulted a number of Black African passengers at the capital's Tunis-Carthage airport amid chaos caused by flight delay. The Tunis-Carthage International Airport report stated has been experiencing a number of cancelled flights and delays, leaving passengers stranded at the airport. Videos circulating online on social media showed Tunisian authorities attacking and assaulting Senegalese travelers with batons in the airport, promoting an outcry from activists and Twitter users who decreed the racism the passengers were being subjected to. What makes it worse is the fact that it's happening in Africa. Tunisia is in Africa. The fact that they decided to mistreat and to discriminate against Black Africans is just mind-boggling because clearly they overbooked. The airline is at fault. They overbooked and they didn't have a place to seat the passengers, so they removed the Black Africans from boarding. They told them you have to wait for another plane. The Black Africans who were Senegalese waited one day, waited 2 whole days in the airport because they were not giving them a flight. Once they realized that they were the only ones that were not allowed to board, they understood that they were being profiled because they are Black. They started protesting and they were assaulted for it. This should stop. African Union should call it out. All African leaders should call this out because our brothers and sisters should not be discriminated against, especially in Africa. Anyway, Swahili Nation family, let us know down below what your thoughts are about the topics we've discussed. I am Wangel Zalalem. I'll see you next week. Bye.